My name is Austin. This is the Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. When I say this is the best I can afford, I'm not kidding. This box was $300. I saw it on eBay, and it is the first time I have ever just absolutely had to have something that would break me, you know? $300 is a lot of money to me. This is a Meiji Era cloisonne vase. I'm hoping I can do this in one take. I'm about to open it legitimately. There might not be anything in this box. So, we're going to try and do it right the first time. Hopefully that's the thing. Meiji Era Japan was a super interesting time. They outlawed samurai. 1868 to 1911 is considered to be the Meiji Era, I believe. I don't have a script or anything, because I thought if I wrote a script, I'd probably cut my finger off. And safety first, y'all. So, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I'm a little bit shaky, I'm a little bit nervous. I ordered this almost 2 months ago. I had ordered a bunch of stuff. I had ordered, just all sorts of neat stuff. Alright, so I'm going to have to learn how to edit because I didn't think that there would be 8 million peanuts in here, and I'd rather just not. What I'm going to do is try and get the main element out of the box so I'm not spilling everything in the world. Maybe that'll work out for me. Here we go. If you see my, mechanic fat roll, I apologize. So yeah, Meiji Era Japan. They outlawed samurai, and they obviously outlawed the carrying of swords. So some of the best metalsmiths in the entire world, known for their swords and armors and lacquers and enamels, all of a sudden they couldn't do the thing that they had been doing for, 1,000 years. So, they started making art, and a lot of it was metallic. I apologize, my dog was disgruntled about a loud noise. But we're back. I don't even remember what I was talking about. No swords. So they turned to metal art. Oh my goodness, I just saw the inside of it. Oh, okay. Why don't we all just have a look at that? Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. If my voice starts quivering a little bit, that's my bad. Oh, but why don't we just appreciate that for a minute? Look at this little, I don't know if you can see him or not, little Studio Ghibli sparrow right here. You know what? I'm going to get a little bit closer. Excuse any camera tipsies. We'll go down a little bit. We'll get them all in there. Okay, come back a little bit, tiny more. Okay. All right. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. I've waited a month and a half to look at this thing. Oh, okay. I'm supposed to be talking to you guys about it. I should be showing you things. We should be having a real conversation about this, So, they turned to art that involved metal, and they produced some of the most incredible things out of metal there have ever been. Now, this is all cloisonne. I'm really struggling. We'll get a little closer to them, but there is such fine wire detail in these flowers. It's silver wire, like the actual precious metal. And we haven't even gotten to this fella yet. This is why I bought this vase. Do you see him in all of his magnificence and glory? So somebody took all of this and they drew this picture with wires sticking up off of the vase. And every little feather on this character right here is, laid out with a little piece of gold wire. And the seller actually told me that he thought it might be real gold wire, which I would not put past this particular vase. When we start looking at the top, you're going to see such fine attention to detail in these geometric patterns up here. It's really, I can't believe I'm looking at it in person. Okay, I'm going to try and be a professional. It's actually making me shaky. Note the blue shading on this flower right here. That's an extra little step, that's every time you see a little bit of shading in there, that's the time they would have to add enamel, maybe bake that enamel, and then pull it back out, sand it down, see how it looked, and then add a little more enamel. So, you've got some grays in here, you've got some brown right here. You've got two little golden wires denoting bark on there. I mean, this is just one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And to think 100 years ago, there was a little guy, should have been making swords maybe. And instead he was building this beautiful thing. And it's just incredible. I mean, when we get a little closer, we'll look at the wire work and stuff. And I think you'll see it's just an amazing piece. These sparrows, I'm pretty sure they're sparrows, maybe swallows. I'm not positive. I think sparrows. I couldn't tell you what type of trees or flowers or anything. The central character there is obviously a hawk. These little red berries back here. I mean, these are such beautiful birds. But, I mean, this guy over here with his little googly eye, he looks so much like a character from a Studio Ghibli movie. This is almost like a 100-year precursor to a Studio Ghibli story. And it is just, I mean, if you're not familiar with those, you should be. I apologize for referencing something you don't understand if you don't. Alright, we're going to get a little closer to them. You can see some of these fine details. I might have to adjust in increments here. I apologize. I'm trying not to edit things because I don't know how. It's going to be hard enough for me to combine two videos to make a whole video. So, I wonder if we can get a little better light on him. Is that just going to increase glare? Or can we actually see it better? Sorry everybody, love you. Be patient with me. This is something I'm very new to. How about right there? You see my selfie ring light thing? I always thought they were for 14-year-old girls, but here I am with one, so I just don't know if I can give him any justice here. Maybe if I just hold the camera. Well, that is lovely. Except it's not focusing. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Alright, so we've got, I mean, these are just the fanciest little wires in there. The cloisonnes, which again is French for partition. These geometric designs are just beautiful. I mean, they look like they could be in gold wire too. I mean, it could be brass just as easily, but I mean, for as beautiful and fancy as this piece is, it would not surprise me to find that there was more precious metal in it than I expected. We will just closely examine his whole lip here. And what a beautiful thing. Oh my goodness, I can't believe the differences in the designs at the top. Trying not to shake too much. This is actually like a high stress situation for me. I waited a month and a half to look at this, and it is just gorgeous. Oh, I can't believe I feel this way about a thing. I really cannot. This is a completely new experience for me. I've never really, I'm not going to say I don't appreciate art, but I've never found any that just so much so visually appealed to me. I'm going to try and figure something out here. There's a window behind me. Okay. All right. Look at you, handsome. Let's talk about it. Oh, okay. I love that little face so much. See, there's a small amount of enamel loss, and that happens. You know, it's crushed glass melted right next to a little piece of wire. Over 100 years, these things can just fall out. This is very slight pitting. This is very normal for an older piece. It had to do with the firing process. It's actually much more rare for newer pieces to be pitted. They've apparently figured out how to bake it correctly without the gases escaping from underneath of the enamel. I apologize for that. And then we'll keep going. And when I turn it in the light, if you look at the flowers up in the left-hand corner, you can see the wires coming out from under the enamel. And it is just beautiful. I mean, this is such a beautiful thing. I cannot believe that I own this. And I really stepped up to the plate on it. As my new friend Gary Yoshino would say, I stuck my neck out for it. My last car was $500, and here I am with a $300 vase, like a real reckless adult. And look at him. What a magnificent thing. We're going to have to get close-ups of him. Okay. All right, and try and reduce the glare here a bit. I will put my fat shadow in front of it. Can you believe that? Look at those wires in that branch. That's just like an extra little added, effort to make something look beautiful and more realistic. So this is definitely like an impressionist piece, this guy was a real artist. He didn't exactly draw a hawk or a branch, but from about 6 inches a foot away, he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was doing it well. I wonder if that's a little flower, or if they managed to somehow put their insignia in a bud. I don't suppose maybe anyone knows if that's actually an insignia as opposed to just the design and a leaf. I'd love to know who this artist is. I'm pretty familiar with quite a few artists now, but this one's a little bit beyond me. I've never seen a hawk like that, first off. The sparrows look a little bit like a different artist that I'm familiar with. Hayashi Shidenji, maybe? I'm trying to think if that's the right name or not. I struggle with this. I only discovered cloisonne about 2 months ago, so really, I'm not an expert at all, but I do think I know that this is beautiful, and I think I did well on it for $300. I will not live in regret. Even if I come to find out it's worth less than that, I would happily stare at this for $300. And what a gorgeous thing. The extra attention taken in the flowers, it is just, look at that shading. It's just extra steps everywhere. If it's a different color, oh, look at this leaf right here. They actually bothered to design the little caterpillar holes in it. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe just a little bit of sticker residue. I am gonna try and find out the best way to clean these things and give them all a good cleaning at some point in time. We can do that together. I'm sure it won't be the most interesting thing ever, but we need to figure stuff out. We might as well do it together. So yeah, and these designs on the bottom. Just geometric designs, maybe like Arabic geometric designs. I'm not sure how you would refer to those. I love that blue flower with the yellow inside. And these are all just gorgeous, honestly. I mean, I wore gloves to protect him because I love him. Goodness gravy. I mean, just look at him. Oh my goodness. All right. Hopefully you've enjoyed looking at him as much as I have. I'll just continue to get better at making these videos. So, let me know if you've got any tips for me or anything. And I could certainly use some tips on videography and lighting especially. Lighting seems to be really hard for lighting an object. And I'd like people to be able to appreciate these as much as I do, because, oh my goodness, I'm just utterly infatuated with this. I know I talk kind of funny, the oh my goodness and utterly infatuated. I'm a 40-year-old mechanic, and I'm going to tell you now that I've spoken to a lot of older mechanics that also thought I was a bit of an odd duck. So that's just where we're at on that. And this is going to go in our curio cabinet, which I'll introduce you guys to eventually. I've already got a space cleared out for him if it's tall enough, which I think it is. Oh my God. Just why don't you be more precious? I really can't help it. I'm sorry. This is just gold that I'm holding right now. This is actual treasure. If you found this in a chest in 1,000 years, you would be utterly amazed by it. Like I said, this isn't painted. This is all, someone formed the skeleton of every single picture on here with wire and then filled it in with different shades and, fired it and then sanded it down. I mean, I've heard there were up to 108 different processes for creating one of these vases. So this is a thing that took time. This is a thing that took skill. It took an artist's eye. And there will probably never be anything like it made again because of the time it took, because of the skill. This was passed down generation to generation. The technique to make cloisonne, you didn't just figure out how to do this. Somebody would show you, how to attach the wires to the metal vase. It just occurred to me I hadn't shown you the bottom, and I hadn't even looked at the bottom. So that is a blue counter enamel. It's not particularly, this is a little different color than the upper enamel. I would think that the inside of the vase had about the same. Yeah, we're not really seeing a whole lot of that, but yeah, it's a dark blue enamel. The inside of it is not as beautiful as the outside, which I can't fault them for. All right, so my name is Austin, and this is the Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. And at least today, that is a very, very true statement. Let's just say goodbye to him one more time. Thank you very much. If you watched the whole thing, feel free to subscribe, and I will post up more videos as I go along. I've got a bunch of stuff just waiting to be unboxed.